Good afternoon, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I finally got some time to work on the GTO. So the first thing I'm gonna do is fix the transmission lines because that's where the leak is coming from. And then I have some parts that I'm gonna change out to try to correct the issue with it breaking up at higher RPMs. I looked at the logs from the HP tuners. I sent them in to some people on HP tuners and I got some advice back from them. So I'm going to try those and see if that resolved the issues. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my transmission lines. I don't know how well you can see them, but they run up under the battery tray and they come up through here and they go to the aftermarket transmission cooler that I have right here. So they are braided lines. So I'm thinking that they rubbed up against this metal right there and it rubbed a hole in it. But I can't see any kind of residue on it right now. So I'm gonna have to fire the car up and see if I can see exactly where it's coming from. Hope my battery's charged. I haven't started this car in quite some time. Okay, that's what I needed to see. So it did rub a hole in it right where I thought it did. Right there. You can see it bubbling up. So what I'm going to do is cut that piece out and put a connector on it. So I don't have to replace as much as I thought I might have to. Alright, so let me get started. Okay, I'm going to tuck this back behind the bumper, but what I ended up doing is cutting the bad section out and putting an AN connection in here, and I just put the hose clamps on it. That one is actually pushed on pretty far, but I'm just going to test it out and see if it leaks, and I'll probably try to push it on some more right now since I got it connected right there. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we're going to start it up and see if it's leaking. Okay, so let's try this again. Here's my key. Alright, so let's start it up again and check and see if it's leaking. Alright, so now that we got this problem taken care of, let's go ahead and work on the other issues with the breaking up at high RPMs. It's not leaking transmission fluid anymore, which is a good thing. Just got to clean out the areas where it leaked the transmission fluid out so I don't have anything dripping. Put this hose back behind the bumper here, and let's work on doing what else, the other stuff. Basically what they told me was to change the mass airflow and also replace the map sensor, which is right there. So I'm gonna replace those. When I take this off, I'm gonna clean out the throttle body with some carburetor choke cleaner, and I'm gonna replace the mass airflow sensor, and I'm gonna replace the map sensor, and we'll see. I did notice a little hesitation just now when I was giving it a little bit of gas, so we should be able to tell if that issue is resolved or not. But I'm gonna take it for a test drive once I get it. Get those changed out. I also have to check the transmission fluid because it leaked out quite a bit. So if I don't have any transmission fluid here, I need to go get some to top it off. Okay, I got the items here for the GTO. As you see, I have enough braided transmission line to redo that whole line, and I'll get to that later. The reason why I'm not replacing it now is because I really have doubts about that transmission being any good, so I might have to take the transmission out, and when I take the transmission out, that'll be the perfect time to change out these transmission lines. So what I just did to it just now will actually, it'll hold it, keep it from leaking, and I can test some other stuff out with the car. I just didn't want to, I want to make sure that I got the breaking up issue fixed before I go pulling the transmission out and doing all that other stuff to it. So, but what I do have for it is I got the carbon choke cleaner, like I said earlier. I'm going to clean out the throttle body. I got a mass airflow sensor right here in this box, so I'm going to replace that. And I also have a map sensor, so I'm going to replace the map sensor also, and we'll see if that'll stop the breaking up issue. I had some other stuff in here. This would just be for the sharp edges around the transmission hose, or transmission hose. So I didn't put that on there yet, because believe it or not, it didn't burst from the actual part where it was rubbing up against it. So, but again, I'll put that on. If I take the transmission out, I might try to reroute the lines, period. So, and I had some additional fittings right here, some AN fittings that I didn't use, but I can always use later. So, some more transmission line, AN6 line. So, I think over here I had AN8. Yeah, AN8. All right, so let's get this mass airflow sensor changed out. Okay, got the mass airflow sensor changed out. Got it pointing in the right direction, and I also changed out the map sensor. Where's that in the camera? Right there. So, all right, let's start it up and see if I notice anything right off of the jump, which I doubt it, but we'll see. Okay, so it's almost dark now, so I'm not gonna rush and go out to test the GTO. There's transmission fluid in places in the car that I need to clean out, and the last thing I want to do is have transmission fluid dripping up under my tires when I'm out there trying to test it. So I'm just gonna take my time, get some brake cleaner and clean all the transmission fluid out the car, and I'll test it for you in the next video. So thanks for watching. Click on that subscribe button if you haven't, and check out next week's video to see if what I did fixed the GTO.